Right, so let's do a walk around a big yellow after it's running in the snow. Obviously, as you can see, all the snow's gone now. This was, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you notice I drove it up onto the garden patio table, and it fell off, and that's when that happened. But this Rust-Oleum paint is, I've been painting trucks for years. I've never had paint that came off like this does. It's scraped off, it's discoloured everywhere. So I think Big Yellow's going to have to get, see, look, everywhere. It's, I think we're going to have to go with car paint for this puppy. Right, so, apart from being covered in snow and stuff, hang on a minute, clear some stuff out the way. Right, how did it fare? Well, not the best camera angle, but yeah, we've got some play in the front suspension, to say the least. Oh, my God, this thing is heavy. I need to weigh this. I need to know how much it weighs. Right, so let's tip her over. Oh, I'll tell you what, I don't know if I showed you the lights. The lights and some on the dashboard. There are some on the front, some marker lights on the front. They're fibre optics. The little lights are actually behind the grille, so I plan on redoing that. I'm not really impressed with that. Backlights. I want to put number plate lights in this. On my original one of these F350s, I had marker lights down the side, which these don't have, so I never put them on. There are lights in the mirrors, but I never got to wire them up, so that's another plan. These work. They work from the remote. They have this weird sort of flashing, strobing malarkey. I wish they just came on. If I'd have known they had different modes, I probably wouldn't have bought that set. And they're not particularly bright either. I haven't said that. Right, so damage. Right. Oh, hang on, I can show you what happened. This linchpin came out. Now these, I don't know if anybody knows about metallurgy, but they're not Chinesium. They are really, really good quality steel, but the linchpins are not glued in. They're not even remotely. Although, having said that, there's no sign of movement on the front drive shaft, and they are identical. Yeah, and they don't really fit. If you see the movement there, yeah, they don't really fit on these axles very well. So these were designed for a larger output yoke, or input yoke, whatever you want to call it. The back end is pretty solid. There's a little play there, tiny little play, but all the mounts are pretty much fastened securely. Front ones on the other hand, not so much. As you can see, there's a lot of movement on that inner mount. In fact, that one's barely on. This is a copy of an RC four-wheel drive design. I don't know if RC four-wheel drive buy them in and brand them themselves and charge a lot of money, but I paid the equivalent of $17 for this. Now I know the RC four-wheel drive ones, which are identical in the UK at the moment, are currently near 45. So I don't know if they are the same and they just rebrand them, but I've had no issues with this, with the exception that it has two little screws, one there and one there. And obviously it's only fastened into aluminium sheet, so the holes are widened. So yeah, I think somebody did say I had my drive shafts the wrong way around, that this one should go to there and that one should go to this. So that might be why we've got rubbing on the transmission tunnel. Yeah, this is all aluminium and steel sheet. All this is It sounds like plastic. This is it 12mm square tubing. It's very, very heavy. Now, I had this shell on an Emax and it worked beautifully. So I've actually been thinking about repurposing all this for a new build at some point and putting an Emax underneath this. But because nothing really works, and I don't really want it all. I mean, the run the other day in the snow, that was its proper first shakedown run. I've had it around the garden, but this is the first time it's covered any actual mileage or been given any real abuse, and it handled it beautifully, with the exception of I don't know if anybody remembers when the Yeti first came out. The torque twist, it's like it wants to kick one wheel in the air whenever you put your foot down. I didn't think something this size would do that, but maybe the bigger the truck, the more the weight, the more that problem is. But I have been planning on sitting it lower, but the axle, the steering and axle setup, well, as you can see, there's no suspension travel there because the steering servo is already on it. So there is some re-engineering to be done. I have a set of lights that's currently on the wreath on the front door up until this week, so they're the right little tiny sort of blobs on wire type lights. They would probably, I've actually bought them for this, they ended up on as Christmas decorations. So I'll maybe redo the lights on this, because you can't tell in this light, but they are really bright, and they don't really need to be that bright, so we'll see. But yeah, stiffen up the suspension. It'd be good as a crawler, but it's too heavy, because the articulation is quite impressive. There seems to be some movement that tucked in nicely before. So yeah, I think we need to repurpose this as we were doing with it in the snow, as a monster truck, as just a basher, to lower the centre of gravity, widen the track, stiffen the springs, shock spring ratio, whatever, you know what I mean. The motors held up fine. I checked up when I came back and there was no water in there whatsoever. None at all. Not any splash up into that engine bay whatsoever. Very, very happy with that. So whatever I do to this, the motors are staying there, the motors and gearbox are staying there. But I'm thinking with the proper gear ratios on an Emax chassis, you can see that now. That's side to side travel. Goosed. Right, anyway, so that's what we're doing with Big Yellow. The Land Rover, I don't know if you noticed in the video, but I broke off the end of the bumper. I swung round, glanced at the curb at the edge of the road, and it obviously cold, it just snapped off. So I'm going to be getting some that metal tubing that the chassis is made from. I'm going to measure this, see what it is, and I'm going to get some either styrene or metal tubing and make a new bumper. I can cut off the bit that goes up and over the grille and fasten that to the new bumper, and hopefully it'll be a little stronger, and if it breaks it's an easier fix in future. That's it. The Land Rover didn't get any damage other than that, although I haven't really given it a good look. I'll put my table, let them dry out, and that's it. Now I did notice there's a little rust on the yokes somewhere on this one here. There's a bit of rust, so I need to get in there with some oil. Now I have a GNC top kick shell which is screaming, crying out for a chassis. Maybe this will be it. And that's it for this. Oh yeah, see that wobble? So we need to drop it a little. The wheels aren't quite big enough for this ride height, so we'll take it from there. In the summer, I'm going to leave it till the summer. I'm going to bash it around and then when it's trashed, repaint it, because it looks shiny. The camera makes it look way better than it is. It's truly dreadful. Now the other one of these that I've turned into an excursion, I'm going with candy apple green on that. I'm going with a candy paint on that, so that'll test my painting skills. That's coming up in the summer. I've still got to finish it yet. What I did was I had 3 of these, so I cut it here, and took the section of the other cab, glued it on the back at an angle, and then managed to extend the roof with various bits and bats. I have some black, it's either ABS or styrene, I'm not quite sure what it is. Made the window section, took front doors, cut them in half to make the back doors, and it is almost exactly the same length as this. Now I'm happy with that because by all accounts the Excursion and the Super Duty are exactly the same wheelbase anyway. The door just goes to there, so they're on the same chassis. So hopefully when I get it sorted out, I'll be able to use the same. If I make a chassis for one, it'll fit both, so we'll see. Right, that's it now. That's an update Big Yellow. I haven't done anything with anything else. I never got my fall guy truck out because the snow disappeared. I planned on using that, but that'll be the next run video hopefully. Anyway, so there we go. Thanks for watching, peeps. Next time you see this, it'll be in pieces. Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, comment, and please, 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 if you like what I'm doing, tell everybody else. If you don't like what I'm doing, keep quiet. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.